What do George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Saint Valentine have in common? The month of February. The first two were born in that month, while the other prematurely died. But the month of February celebrates all three, and now you have a fourth reason to celebrate. Hello again, SA here. And when I'm not embarrassing myself on the internet, I'm also a published author, and I got a deal for you. Enjoy President's Day and Valentine's Day with my book series Glitch. It will be on sale for 25% off for the entire month. That way, when you're taking a load off on President's Day or getting sweets from your sweets, you can indulge in a story of a kidnapped teen model and a reluctant jewel thief who are on the run from the law. The links are down below in the description. And I'm not just some one-hit wonder. I got other books coming down the pike. So as long as nothing terrible happens to me.
And now...
Hey, Rocky! Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Again?
Nothing up my sleeve. Presto!
Wrong hat.
I take a 7.5.
Now here's something we hope you'll really like.
You'll see those books too. Now let's get back to the video. Hello again. SA here. What is fast food? Depends who you ask. Some would say it's food that's convenient and ready to eat. Some would say that it's something that you shouldn't be eating at all because it just it's full of too much fat, too much cholesterol, and is generally not good for you. Well, something can be two things at the same time. But there's also, fast food is also expensive. Always has. Even back during the days of the original McDonald brothers, who used to own the original McDonald's shop down there in Orange County, before it got bought out by, I can't remember the guy's name now, but Michael Keaton made a film about it. It was called The Founder. You can look it up. So it's an okay docudrama about the beginning of McDonald's. How it turned from a one little hamburger shop into a multinational conglomerate, but still. And indeed, when I was a kid, my father used to take me and my brother to McDonald's. And of course, I was a little kid at the time, so I didn't fuss. Even though, personally, at the time, I think I liked Burger King better, only because the hamburgers were bigger. And I do mean bigger. I mean, the things back then, when I was a kid, they were huge like this. Big. And it wasn't all bun either. It was meat. It was definitely, the patty damn near pretty much filled up the bun, no joke. And back when I was a kid, that hamburger was just under $1, 99 cents. So there you go. But of course, lives changed since I was a kid. And indeed, fast food, let's just say this, has always been a luxury. Maybe not as much as a luxury as having a steak tartare at the Four Seasons Hotel, or, oh my God, going to the French Laundry, which is not a real laundry. It's just the name of a really, really expensive restaurant, one that Governor Hairgel, aka Governor Newsom Gruesome, usually hangs out at. And indeed, it's not like the Ivy. You see the Ivy? Yeah, it's a restaurant over there on Highland. It's where the Hollywood types hang out at. In fact, if you probably recall Lindsay Lohan, back when she was still well known, she had a little automobile accident out there in her raggedy ass Mercedes convertible, ran into some poor delivery guy, and he's the one who got in trouble. Until the witnesses said no, the woman was sitting there doing burnouts in the middle of the street in front of the Ivy and ran into him. But it is what it is. But no, fast food here and now in the 2020s, it's definitely a luxury. Especially if you don't have the money of Lindsay Lohan or Governor Hair Gel. And why is that? Well, a variety of factors, mostly. In other words, primarily it's inflation. Now, before you say, oh yeah, Biden inflation. Yeah, I get it. But let's just say this. Even if Joe Biden had never become president, hamburger prices would still be high. Why is that? Well, let's just say this. Anyone who's been paying attention probably heard the story about $15 minimum wage. Now, the funny thing is, it's not a national minimum wage. However, various blue cities have increased their minimum wage. Why? Well, it depends who you ask. Mostly it's community organizers that are pushing this. And why are they doing it? Probably because they never really worked in the private sector before. Because, for example, there was this fella named Gilbert. You don't know him. It's a friend of the family's. He used to work at Ralph's along with my mom back in the 70s. And he decided to get a franchise. Worked for KFC. Okay. So he got his money together, they bought a franchise. And by the 1980s, he was doing very well. And then my mom used to go by his KFC franchise over there on Olympic all the time. And because he was a friend of the family, he would give her a little discount, off the books, There you go. And indeed, well into the 90s, I remember hearing that he actually had owned like 3 or 4 franchises. But kind of lost track of them after year 2000. I don't know. Maybe he retired. But by 2010, his flagship franchise, someone else had owned it. So there you go. And now at this point, you're saying, well, this Gilbert guy did pretty well for himself. Yeah, he did. And that makes you wonder, so what's keeping these other schmucks who are working at McDonald's from doing the same? I mean, just because you start out being a burger flipper, now doesn't mean you have to be there as a burger flipper for the rest of your life. I mean, you can grow up in the industry. I mean, you become an assistant manager, become the senior manager, and if you play your P's and Q's, you can get your own franchise. And therefore, you're the boss. And then you say, well, that sounds like upwardly mobile. Yeah, it is. So then you say, well, why don't more people who work for McDonald's do this? And not just McDonald's. Like Chick-fil-A or Subway or Burger King. And, wait for it, Wendy's. I don't rightly know. But any of you who's been having your ear to the wall probably know what this video is actually about. Yeah, it's about Wendy's. And anyone who's been paying attention probably heard on the grapevine, i.e. the mainstream media, Fox News, CBS, whatever, that Wendy's has decided to really stick the screws to their customers with surge pricing. And you sit there and say, what? Yeah, I know. It's crazy. I mean, anyone who's been inside of any fast food joint recently knows that them prices are only going in one direction, into outer space. Therefore, why in devil's God's name would anyone want to add surge pricing to the mix? It's dumb, it's stupid, it's ridiculous. Now, of course, right now, some of you are probably typing, yeah, but the inflation's so high now. These damn franchises, it costs them money to get all the ingredients and pay their employees. Yeah, I get it. And I know that with all businesses, when costs go up, you usually have to pay, pass the cost on to the customers. That's how capitalism works. Yeah, I know, I get it. But surge pricing? Really, dude? It's a joke, and not a very funny one. Because I know that Uber Eats and Grubhub, they do that shit all the time. That's why I don't use it. Because if I have an inkling for 2 all beef patty special sauce that's cheap pickles under sesame seed bun, I'm not gonna get it on the damn computer with fucking Grubhub, okay? I'll get off my big fat ass and go down to the damn McDonald's and get it myself. It's cheaper. But with this surge pricing, good luck with that. Because what does that mean? Well, it's simple. It means that, say around 6 o'clock in the morning, everyone goes to McDonald's, or I should say to Wendy's, to get their croissant burger. And you say, croissant burger? Yeah, they have a croissant burger up at the damn Wendy's. I mean, me personally, I don't hang out at Wendy's. Why? Because here in California, Wendy's has never been cheap, okay? It's always been expensive. Even back in the 20th century, it was kind of high. I don't know why, okay? I mean, don't ask me. I can't answer that question. I just know it always has been. But the fact that they're doing the surge pricing is ridiculous. But yeah, you go to Wendy's now during breakfast time, guess what? You're not going to walk out of that damn place with your croissant burger at the usual price. No, why? Because you and every brother's, cousin's, nephew's son is going to be in there getting theirs as well. And guess what? According to the corporation, they're going to have these new digitalized menus that will be controlled by AI. And God willing, hopefully it won't be a Gemini AI, hopefully. I mean, good Lord, could you imagine that? Ugh. Yeah. And that means that everyone who's there at breakfast is going to all be paying higher. And guess what? When everyone shows up around 11:30 to get their lunch, same thing. And and God helping you if you decide to go in there between 4 o'clock and 8 for your dinner, because it's going to be high. Now, of course, at this point, you say, well, hell, I might as well go to some other fast food joint. Yeah, well, guess what? You think this thing's going to stay at Wendy's? Really? Don't bet your life on it, because it's not. Just watch. Probably before the end of this year, you'll be seeing all of them doing it, including Chick-fil-A. And those people are not even open on Sundays. So there you go. So what you do about it? I don't know. I guess you have to go without your pretzel baconator, or your loaded nacho double cheeseburger, or your Dave's double or triple, or your big bacon classic double, or your big classic bacon triple. And you say, what am I going to do? You could learn how to cook. Because me personally, the last time I've been to a fast food joint was to get KFC. And no, I didn't use Grubhub either. I got off my big fat ass and did it myself. But, wait for it. You ready? There's a very little secret about KFC. The prices are not fixed. No, they're not. I mean, if you go to the KFC website and you check all the KFCs in your general neighborhood or your general municipality, the prices are all different. Why? I don't rightly know. But when I discovered this, I wondered what's going on here. And when I mean prices were different, no, we're not talking about by a few pennies. We're talking about a few bucks. Because when I checked the KFC website, I discovered that there was 2 KFCs nearby my zip code. One of them, the price of the chicken, no, it was like the 16-piece barrel. The price difference was $6 apart. And you say, $6? Yeah. Unbelievable. So you can probably guess what I did, right? Do you think I went to the KFC that had the damn chicken for the higher price? Or did I go to the one that had the same chicken for $6 less? Yeah. Now, of course, if I had the secret recipe for KFC, I wouldn't go to KFC at all. So there you go. But as for everyone else out there, yeah, you're going to have to take a page from Jerry Reed and learn how to cook. And you say, huh? Yeah, it's from an old song called, it's an old country song called She Got the Gold Mine, I Got the Shaft. Look it up sometime. It's a great Jerry Reed song. It's very funny. So there you go. But yeah, I think people are going to have to learn to start cooking. And you say, but isn't the food at the supermarkets high? Thanks to Biden inflation? Yes, sirree. But guess what? The food at Wendy's is now a whole lot higher. Just letting you know. And what we're going to do about the future? Well, I think those prices are going to get higher still. But wait for it. If you're so inclined, you can get some ground beef at the store. I would suggest going to Walmart. Get some buns, preferably from Smart and Fine if you live in California, or if you live in other zip codes, you can go to Costco. I think they have them in bulk. And of course, as for the bacon, well, you're gonna have to figure that one out yourself because everywhere you go, bacon is very high. But as for other ingredients, the pickles, the cheese, the onions, and the lettuce, I think you probably can match that on your own. And then make your bacon double stack at home. And wait for it, when you break down that price, it won't be super high as it is now at Wendy's. Yeah. And wait for it, you'll have that skill under your belt. That way, if the zombie apocalypse ever occurs, and you have a craving for a triple bacon classic, well, guess what? You won't be sitting there with your mouth poked out, dreaming about fast food that will never happen. You can say, well, hell, I can just make up one on my own. Yeah. That's goddamn right. Well, that's all I'm going to say about ridiculous, stupid price surges at damn Wendy's. That's my opinion.